How many of us work in environments that are truly compassionate? How many of us show compassion without judgment for those we work with? In my over 20 years experience in the workplace, I saw many people suffering at work, and yet I rarely saw organizational values which included compassion. I saw a lot of toxic behavior, including bullying and harassment. Yet research shows that compassion can have really positive outcomes for individuals in organizations, and yet we don't always treat each other this way. Why is that? My research work aimed to understand how people experience and define compassion, as well as the facilitators and barriers to compassion in the workplace. I decided to do this work in one of the systems where compassion is most challenging, the child protection system, a system that is usually filled with public scrutiny and judgment. My research is the first of its kind in Canada, in that I focused on the lens of child protection workers, whose job it is to be compassionate towards families who are undergoing an investigation for alleged acts of abuse. I conducted a survey as well as interviews in one children's aid society in Ontario, Canada. What I discovered was that compassion for self and others in a system filled with risk and litigation can be frightening. I also discovered that workers viewed compassion as something that was greatly influenced by factors outside of the organization, such as the legislation and the accompanying protocols, which dictate how child welfare is done on a daily basis. I wanted to see whether this belief was true, and so I conducted an analysis of the system's key documents. What I discovered was that the legislation places a great emphasis on control, authority, and surveillance over approaches grounded on love and compassion. This makes the pathway to compassion more challenging for workers. If system design has such a huge impact on how compassion is experienced in child protection, the obvious conclusion is a system redesign. Now, system design may take time, but there are things that individual workers can do to experience more compassion for self and others. Check out my thesis to find out more. I'd like to end with these thoughts. Increasing compassion in systems begins with each of us. The systems we have created reflect a level of consciousness which minimizes compassion for self and others. Practicing self-compassion helps us be more compassionate towards everything outside of us. It helps us listen with curiosity, be more present, as well as give the people we meet the benefit of the doubt. Through practicing self-compassion, we can begin to create compassionate systems for all. Thank you.